Have you seen the headlines claiming an extra $1,800 check is coming in August 2026? If so, you're probably wondering one simple question. Am I getting this money? The answer isn't as straightforward as many social media posts make it seem. Some videos are saying everyone on Social Security will automatically receive an extra payment. Others claim every retiree, SSDI recipient, or SSI beneficiary is already approved. And with so many conflicting stories circulating online, it's becoming harder to separate fact from fiction. Here's the important part. If you ignore this topic completely, you could overlook an important benefit adjustment or payment that actually applies to your situation. But if you assume every headline is true, you could end up expecting money that was never promised. That's why today's video is so important. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explain where the $1,800 figure is coming from, which groups of Americans should pay the closest attention, how to check whether your own record has changed, and the simple steps you can take today to make sure you're not missing any benefits you may actually qualify for. And be sure to stay until the end, because I'll also share a simple eligibility checklist that can help you determine whether you should contact the Social Security Administration or simply continue monitoring your account. Let's get started. Before anything else, let's clear up the biggest misunderstanding. As of now, there is no official announcement that every Social Security beneficiary will automatically receive a universal extra $1,800 payment in August 2026. That's an important distinction. However, that doesn't mean nobody will receive additional money. Every month, thousands of Americans receive higher than normal Social Security payments for completely legitimate reasons. Some receive retroactive benefits. Some receive corrections after benefit calculations are updated. Others receive delayed payments that were owed from previous months. And certain beneficiaries affected by changes in Social Security law may see increases or back payments depending on their individual records. Because many of those payments happen to total amounts close to $1,800. That number has spread rapidly across social media. But the amount isn't guaranteed. It depends entirely on your personal circumstances. Social Security isn't a one-size-fits-all program. Every benefit is calculated individually using your work history, lifetime earnings, retirement age, disability status, survivor eligibility, and several other factors. That's why two neighbors receiving Social Security can receive completely different monthly payments. One person may receive no adjustment at all. Another may receive several $100s. Someone else may receive well over $1,800 through retroactive benefits. The only way to know is by reviewing your own record. So who should be paying the closest attention? Let's begin with retirees receiving Social Security retirement benefits. If you're already collecting retirement benefits, it's always a good idea to review your account whenever news about benefit adjustments begins circulating. Most retirees will continue receiving their regularly scheduled monthly payments exactly as expected. However, if the Social Security Administration has corrected your earnings record, completed a benefit recalculation, or finalized a previously pending review, your payment could change. Sometimes those adjustments are small. Sometimes they're much larger. And occasionally they include retroactive payments covering previous months. The second group includes SSDI recipients. Social Security disability insurance beneficiaries should also review their payment records periodically. Benefit amounts generally remain stable unless there's a recalculation, cost of living adjustment, or another change affecting eligibility. Checking your account helps ensure your banking information, mailing address, and benefit notices remain accurate. The third group includes former public employees who were previously affected by the windfall elimination provision, commonly called WEP, or the Government Pension Offset, known as GPO. Recent legislative changes eliminated these provisions for many affected beneficiaries. As the Social Security Administration continues implementing those changes, eligible individuals may receive recalculated monthly benefits, retroactive payments, or official notices explaining updated benefit amounts. These adjustments don't apply to everyone, but for eligible individuals, they can be significant. The fourth group includes SSI recipients. Supplemental security income follows different eligibility rules than retirement benefits or SSDI. Payment amounts depend on income, resources, living arrangements, and several other factors. If your circumstances have changed recently, reviewing your payment history and official notices is especially important. The fifth group includes surviving spouses. Survivor benefits can be surprisingly complex. Eligibility depends on age, marital history, the deceased worker's earnings record, and several additional requirements. If you've recently become eligible for survivor benefits, or believe your benefit should have been recalculated, it may be worth reviewing your account carefully. Now here's something many people don't realize. The Social Security Administration doesn't determine eligibility based on YouTube videos, Facebook posts, or viral headlines. Every decision is made using your official Social Security record. That's why checking your own information is much more valuable than relying on rumors online. So how do you check? The easiest method is through your My Social Security account. If you've already created an account, simply sign in and review your information. If you haven't created one yet, you can register by verifying your identity and setting up secure login credentials. Once you're inside your account, start by reviewing your personal information. Make sure your mailing address is correct. Verify your phone number. Confirm your direct deposit information. An outdated bank account or mailing address won't usually affect eligibility, but it can delay payments or important notices. Next, review any recent messages or benefit notices. The SSA frequently communicates benefit updates, requests for information, and payment adjustments through your online account before some documents arrive in the mail. Take a few minutes to read every notice carefully. If your benefit amount recently changed, there may already be an explanation available. You should also compare your current monthly benefit with previous records if you believe something has changed. If you notice an unexpected increase, decrease, or adjustment, review the accompanying explanation before assuming it's connected to a headline you've seen online. If you're one of the individuals affected by the repeal of WEP or GPO, review any correspondence related to those changes and keep copies for your records. If you still have questions after reviewing everything, the next step is contacting the Social Security Administration directly. Before calling, gather any documents that may help explain your situation. This might include previous benefit letters, pension information, disability paperwork, survivor benefit notices, or other SSA correspondence. Having those documents ready often makes the conversation much smoother. When speaking with an SSA representative, focus on your own record. Instead of asking whether everyone is getting an $1,800 payment, ask whether your benefit has been recalculated, whether any adjustments are pending, or whether additional documentation is required. Specific questions generally lead to more helpful answers. Now let's talk about several mistakes people make whenever stories like this begin spreading. The first mistake is believing every headline applies to every beneficiary. Social Security simply doesn't work that way. Every payment is based on individual eligibility. The second mistake is ignoring official notices. If the SSA requests documentation and you don't respond promptly, processing may be delayed. The third mistake is failing to update your personal information. A new address, different bank account, or changed phone number should always be reported as soon as possible. The fourth mistake is falling victim to scams. Whenever stories about government payments become popular, scammers quickly follow. Someone may call pretending to represent Social Security. They may claim your payment has been suspended. They may say you must verify your identity immediately. Or they may ask you to pay a fee before your benefits can be released. Remember this. The Social Security Administration does not demand immediate payment using gift cards, cryptocurrency, or wire transfers. If someone makes those demands, treat it as a scam. Hang up and contact the agency using official contact information. Now let's answer another common question. If you actually qualify for an adjustment, when would you receive the money? That depends entirely on the type of payment. Regular retirement benefits continue following the standard monthly payment schedule. SSDI follows its established schedule. SSI has its own payment calendar. Retroactive payments and benefit recalculations are different. Those are processed individually. Some beneficiaries receive written notices first. Others notice updated payment amounts in their accounts. Processing times can vary depending on workload and the complexity of the case. If you're waiting for an adjustment, patience is important. Processing delays don't automatically mean your request has been denied. Sometimes the SSA simply needs additional documentation or more time to complete its review. That's why regularly checking your online account is often the fastest way to stay informed. Before we finish, let's go through a quick checklist. First, log into your My Social Security account if you already have one. Second, verify your mailing address, phone number, and direct deposit information. Third, review every notice or alert in your account. Fourth, compare your current benefit amount with previous records. Fifth, if you previously worked in a position affected by WEP or GPO, or your spouse did, review any correspondence related to those changes. Sixth, if you receive SSI, confirm that your payment information appears accurate. Seventh, if you receive survivor benefits or believe you qualify, consider asking the SSA to review your benefit record. Finally, remember that viral headlines should never replace official information. The only reliable source for determining your eligibility is your own Social Security record and official communication from the Social Security Administration. So, is there an automatic $1,800 extra check coming for every American in August 2026? No, but some people may receive additional payments, retroactive benefits, or recalculated amounts depending on their individual eligibility and circumstances. That's why reviewing your own record is far more important than relying on rumors circulating online. I hope today's video helped clear up the confusion and gave you a better understanding of how these payment adjustments actually work. If you found this information helpful, consider subscribing for more straightforward updates on Social Security, Medicare, retirement benefits, and important government program changes. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.